Got wobble? This week on MCrider, let's talk about it. A motorcycle is most stable traveling on a level surface at a constant speed in a straight line. In fact, if you let go of the handlebars, you'll continue to travel in a straight line unless some other factors interrupt that. A motorcycle is engineered to stay upright at speed. Our job's not to balance the bike, but to provide direction to the bike. Just point it where we want it to go. Years ago, I had a Yamaha FJR, and I was in the market for a new set of tires. I went to a local shop that I trusted, and I purchased a new set of Shinko tires for the FJR. Now, this was my first experience with Shinko, and I was trying to save a few bucks. And on the ride home, I was decelerating from highway speed down to a slower speed. When I hit about 40 miles per hour to about 35 miles per hour, the handlebars began to shimmy back and forth. And I actually had a video that I did for this for ridergroups.com that demonstrated that shimmy that I was getting from the FJR. In this case, it was a defective tire, and in fact, we put 3 different front tires, all from Shinko, that proved to be defective and caused this shimmy in the FJR. So at least during the time of this video was produced, Shinko was having some issues on their production line, and they were releasing defective tires. Well, the shop worked with me, and we eventually put some Michelin tires on the FJR, and the problem was completely solved. But there can be all kinds of reasons other than defective tires that can cause this type of reaction from a motorcycle. So we'll break this down into 2 different types of issues: mechanical and road surface. First, let's address mechanical. So what are some of the mechanical issues that can cause this? Well, we already talked about the defective tires that I was riding on from Shinko. They actually had a flat spot molded into the tire on the rim that was causing the tire to get out of balance and causing that shimmy. Improper tire pressure can also cause this, and this can't be stated enough. You have to maintain the tire pressure on your motorcycle at the recommended spec. Not only will you get more life from the tire, but they'll also handle like they were designed to. Worn tires can also affect this. If tires are worn from use, and in particular, if they're run frequently at incorrect tire pressure, you can develop a tire that wears unevenly, and this has an effect on the handling of the motorcycle as well. Other mechanical issues might be an improperly loaded motorcycle, so too much weight on the rear or the front, or an imbalanced weight on the motorcycle. Loose spokes can cause this, or a dented rim. Maybe the rear tire is not in alignment with the front, so when you adjust the chain, you didn't get that rear tire squared up with the front. Worn bearings, and there's a whole host of mechanical issues that can cause this shimmy that you feel in the front, the handlebars of the motorcycle. If you experience a wobble in the front of your motorcycle and the road surface is not to blame, you need to diagnose the problem and have the motorcycle checked by a qualified mechanic. It's not something that will fix itself, and if it's not something that you can fix yourself, you need to get it addressed. In addition to mechanical issues, the road can also cause feedback through the handlebars, and it's not to be confused with a mechanical defect on the motorcycle. This is probably the one that most riders have experienced. Grooved roads from construction or bridges that have a graded surface, gravel or slick patches on the road can cause the handlebars to either suddenly or consistently, depending on the surface, shimmy back and forth. So if you hit a piece of gravel, sometimes you'll feel that handlebar shift before the motorcycle regains its composure. Particularly on grooved surfaces, that shifting may last the whole time that you're on that grooved surface. The feedback that you're getting through the handlebars due to the road surface is usually not a big deal, however. We make it worse by our reaction to it. So here are the things that you don't want to do if the road surface is causing some feedback through the handlebars. You don't want to tighten up on the handlebars. The more you tighten up, the more that feedback is going to go through you, and you're going to keep the motorcycle from doing what it needs to do to travel in a straight path. you don't want to look down at the surface. So the first thing we do, we hit a graded patch of road. First thing we do is we look down at that surface. Now it's okay to take a quick glance down and think, yeah, that road is graded. That's what's causing that feedback. But you don't want to look consistently down. You want to get those head and eyes up, and you want to look where you want the motorcycle to go. So here's some things that you do want to do. You want to let the motorcycle move and find its path. Remember, you're not what's keeping the motorcycle upright. The motorcycle will correct itself as long as you don't do something to mess it up. You want to stay loose and look where you want to go. So don't tighten up on those handlebars. Stay loose. Let the handlebars move. Let the motorcycle find its path, and it's going to keep you going down the road. If you ride with a loose posture, with some flex in your arms and maintaining a relaxed upper body, the motorcycle will correct itself over small issues with the road. So stay loose. If you feel like you need to hold on to the motorcycle, use your legs to do so by squeezing on the tank, but keep your upper body loose. Some riders feel that a motorcycle is inherently unstable and it's the rider's responsibility to provide balance, when in reality, we're often the problem with the motorcycle's ability to stay upright. It will correct itself over minor road issues as long as we don't interfere and keep it from doing its job. When it comes to mechanical issues causing shake or vibration, it can get a little bit more complicated, and in fact, these can get really violent. It's called a death wobble. In those situations, you want to maintain your grip on the handlebar while gently rolling off the throttle. If it's a violent shake, you're not going to be able to overcome it with sheer strength. So don't grab hold of the handlebars and try to wrestle it straight. You're not going to be able to do it, but maintain your grip on the handlebars, but don't grab the front brake. Now this is our normal response. We grab that front brake. You can gently use the rear brake to help scrub off some speed, and as your speed decreases slowly, that shimmy will likely go away. It may help to also lean forward over the tank, as that'll help the motorcycle get out of the wobble or shimmy as well. Once you have the motorcycle under control, the next thing you want to do is find out what caused the problem and fix it. If the motorcycle gets itself in a death wobble or a violent shake, it's important to find the cause and correct it, because it's a mechanical issue. It will happen again. Have you ever had a crash because of a death wobble? This is where the motorcycle shakes violently from side to side. It's almost always the result of a mechanical issue with the motorcycle, and it can also be caused by riding at too high of a speed, particularly for the tires, the rating of the tires that you've got. This is why you need to be very careful when making changes to the motorcycle, particularly changes to the front end of the bike. If you do make changes, make sure the changes that you make don't have an impact on the rideability or the stability of the motorcycle. And if you don't know what you're doing, find someone who does to work on your motorcycle. I would say that death wobbles are most often caused by excessive speed or some mechanical issues like mentioned above. If you have experience with this, leave a comment or join us on the forums where we'll be discussing this video. Till next week, guys, this is Kevin with MCrider. Stay out of those wobbles, and I'll see you on the road.